Intro. The threshold of the Midnight Express. Welcome, traveler. You have arrived at the exact moment you were meant to find. Before we begin our journey through the high, snowy passes of the Alps, I want you to take a moment to acknowledge that the day is now behind you. Whatever has happened in the last 12 hours, the conversations, the tasks, the noise, and the movement, all of it is now part of a story that has reached its final punctuation mark. You are standing at the threshold of a different kind of time. Here, on this quiet platform of the mind, there are no deadlines, no expectations, and no shadows of tomorrow. There is only the cool, crisp air of the evening and the gentle, rhythmic hum of the Midnight Express waiting to carry you home. I want you to begin by settling your body into the space where you are right now. Whether you are lying beneath heavy quilts or resting in a chair, take a moment to feel the points of contact between your skin and the surface beneath you. Feel the weight of your heels, the curve of your calves, and the solid support of the mattress against your lower back. Adjust your pillows if you need to. Move your shoulders away from your ears, letting them drop into a natural, heavy position. Imagine that you are smoothing out a piece of crumpled silk. Let that same softness spread across your forehead, your jaw, and the corners of your eyes. You are preparing your vessel for a long, peaceful voyage, and every small adjustment you make is a signal to your nervous system that it is finally safe to let down its guard. Now, let's bring your attention to your breath, the internal engine of your own sanctuary. Don't try to change it yet. Simply observe its natural tide. Notice the coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils and the subtle warmth as it leaves your body. With every inhale, imagine you are breathing in the silver mist of the mountain air, pure, thin, and revitalizing. With every exhale, imagine you are releasing a dark, heavy vapor, the remnants of the day's stress, the echoes of the city, and the clutter of the mind. Inhale the stillness. Exhale the noise. Inhale the night. Exhale the day. With each breath, you are becoming lighter, more fluid, and more ready to step onto the train that is waiting for you in the shadows. Imagine now that you are standing on a platform made of polished stone, surrounded by a soft amber fog. The station is vast and silent, a cathedral of iron and glass where the only sound is the distant, melodic hiss of steam. In front of you is the Midnight Express, a magnificent train of dark mahogany and gleaming brass, its windows glowing with a warm, inviting light. This train is not traveling to a city or a place on a map. It is traveling to the very center of your own peace. It is a sanctuary on wheels, a moving fortress designed to protect your rest and nourish your soul. As you reach out to touch the cool metallic handle of the carriage door, feel a sense of profound relief. You are no longer responsible for the direction of your life. For the next hour, the rails will guide you, the engine will carry you, and the rhythm will lull you. As we begin this journey across the snowy Alps, I invite you to leave your shoes, your worries, and your identity at the door of your cabin. Inside, there is only the scent of cedar, the warmth of wool, and the infinite beauty of the winter night. The world outside the glass is a frozen masterpiece, but inside, you are a pocket of perfect, humid warmth. The rhythm of the wheels is about to become the rhythm of your heart. The clack-clack of the tracks is about to become the cadence of your dreams. You are ready. You are safe. You are a passenger of the night. Close your eyes now. Let your head sink an inch deeper into the pillow. And let the Midnight Express begin its slow, majestic departure from the station of the waking world. The journey into the deep is beginning, and you are exactly where you belong. The Moonlight Train Journey. Chapter 1. The Golden Ticket and the Steam Engine. The night is cold, a deep and crystalline chill that seems to turn the very air into tiny diamonds of frost. You find yourself standing on the edge of Platform 9 at the Grand Central Station of a city that feels like a dream. The station is a cathedral of iron and glass, its high vaulted ceilings lost in a swirling mist of steam and golden light. In your hand, you feel the weight of a heavy metallic card. It is your golden ticket, embossed with celestial symbols that catch the light of the gas lamps. This ticket is not just a pass. It is a promise of absolute silence, of a journey where the only destination is the deepest levels of your own subconscious. At the end of the platform, the Midnight Express awaits. It is a magnificent machine, a relic of a more elegant era, built of dark, polished steel and burnished brass. The engine breathes like a resting dragon, releasing thick, white plumes of steam that curl around your ankles and rise to meet the shadows above. The sound is a low, rhythmic hiss, a steady shh that seems to be telling the world to quiet down, to let go of the day's frantic energy. As you walk toward the train, the silver gravel beneath your boots crunches with a satisfying grounding rhythm. Every step takes you further from the noise of the city and closer to the sanctuary of your private cabin. You reach the steps of the carriage, and a conductor in a deep navy uniform bows slightly, his face obscured by the shadow of his cap. He doesn't speak. He simply gestures toward the open door. As you climb the stairs, you feel the vibration of the engine in the soles of your feet, a deep, resonant frequency that matches the slow thumping of your heart. You enter the corridor, where the walls are made of rich, dark mahogany, and the floor is covered in a plush, emerald green carpet that swallows the sound of your footsteps. The air here is different. It smells of expensive wood polish, old leather, and a hint of cinnamon and cloves from the dining car far ahead. It is an aroma of safety, of luxury, and of profound, unshakable peace. You find your cabin door, marked with a brass plate that glows in the soft light. You slide it open, and the transition is complete. This is your world for the night. The cabin is small, but perfectly appointed, featuring a wide, plush seat that has already been converted into a bed with the finest linen and heavy wool blankets. A large window overlooks the dark platform, but the glass is thick and insulated, turning the outside world into a silent, flickering movie. You sit on the edge of the bed, feeling the incredible softness of the fabric. You reach out and touch the mahogany paneling, feeling the warmth of the wood. You are now a passenger on the Midnight Express, and for the next several hours, you have no responsibilities, no tasks, and no worries. Your only job is to breathe, to listen to the rhythm of the rails, and to let the train carry you into the heart of the snowy mountains. The whistle blows, a long, mournful, and beautiful sound that echoes through the station. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the floor begins to move. The journey has begun. Chapter 2. The Rhythm of the Rails. As the Midnight Express leaves the golden haze of the station behind, the train begins to find its true voice. You are sitting by the large panoramic window of your private suite, wrapped in a heavy throw made of charcoal gray alpaca wool. The transition from the stillness of the platform to the kinetic energy of the journey is seamless. Listen to the sound beneath the floor, a deep, metallic clack-clack, clack-clack. It is not a jarring noise, but a rhythmic, hypnotic heartbeat that resonates through the mahogany walls and into the very marrow of your bones. This is the rhythm of the rails, a mechanical lullaby that has been refined over a century to induce a state of perfect, unthinking calm. With every repetition of the sound, imagine a wave of relaxation starting at the base of your spine and moving slowly upward, untying the knots of tension you've carried all week. The train is now gaining speed, moving through the outskirts of the city where the lights are nothing more than blurry streaks of amber and white against the dark velvet of the night. You lean your forehead against the cool glass of the window. The glass is thick, a double-paned barrier that keeps the freezing night air at bay while allowing the gentle vibration of the engine to touch your skin. Notice how the vibration feels, a steady, low-frequency hum that seems to massage your temples and soften the muscles around your eyes. You are being rocked, literally and figuratively, by a machine built for your comfort. The cabin is filled with the soft, golden glow of a small reading lamp on the mahogany table, its light reflecting off the crystal decanter of water and the silk-bound books on the shelf. Everything here is solid, heavy, and designed to last. The scent within the cabin is a masterclass in olfactory comfort. It is the deep, grounding aroma of polished teak wood, the slightly salty scent of aged leather upholstery, and a top note of lavender-infused linens that have been pressed to perfection. As you breathe in, imagine the air is thick and nourishing, like a warm liquid that fills the empty spaces in your mind. You are no longer a person with a schedule. You are a passenger of the night. The clack-clack of the wheels becomes a mantra. Let go, let go, let go. You watch the curtains, heavy navy blue velvet with gold tassels, sway almost imperceptibly with the motion of the train. Their movement is fluid and predictable, a visual metronome that pulls your gaze deeper into the shadows of the room. Outside, the last remnants of the city have vanished, replaced by the vast, silent darkness of the countryside. The train is now a lonely island of light, cutting through the void. You reach out and touch the velvet of the seat next to you, feeling the intricate pile of the fabric beneath your fingertips. It is soft, yet substantial, a tactile reminder of the luxury that surrounds you. You feel a profound sense of isolation, but it is the best kind of isolation, the kind that allows you to disappear. You are tucked away in a moving sanctuary protected by steel and mahogany, hurtling through the night toward the high peaks. The rhythm is your only master now, and it is a kind master, leading you further and further away from the shore of wakefulness into the deep, dark ocean of the journey. Chapter 3. The Blue Hour of the Alps. The train begins its ascent, and the rhythm of the rails changes. The clack-clack becomes slower, more deliberate, as the powerful steam engine at the front begins to pull the heavy carriages upward into the foothills of the Alps. This is the beginning of the Blue Hour, that magical time of night when the moonlight hits the snow-covered peaks, turning the entire world into a landscape of cobalt, sapphire, and brilliant silver. You look out the window and see the first jagged silhouettes of the mountains rising against the star-dusted sky. They look like ancient, sleeping giants wrapped in blankets of pure white ermine. The scale of the landscape is immense, making the warmth and intimacy of your cabin feel even more precious, like a small, glowing ember in the middle of a frozen wilderness. The air outside is now well below freezing, and you can see a delicate pattern of frost beginning to form at the very corners of your window pane. Tiny, fern-like structures of ice that glimmer in the moonlight. But inside, you are enveloped in a perfect, climate-controlled warmth. The radiator beneath the window emits a soft, metallic tink every now and then, a sound that only adds to the coziness of the space. You pull the alpaca throw tighter around your shoulders, feeling the incredible lightness and warmth of the wool. You are so safe. You are so protected. The contrast between the harsh crystalline cold of the mountains and the velvet softness of your bed is a sensory experience that demands total surrender. As the train winds its way through a narrow mountain pass, the moonlight is momentarily cut off by the towering walls of stone. The cabin plunges into a deeper darkness, lit only by the faint, blue glow of the snow reflecting off the rocks. In this darkness, your other senses become hyper-aware. You hear the creak of the wood paneling as the train leans into a curve, a sound like an old ship at sea, organic and comforting. You hear the distant, muffled whistle of the engine, a haunting and beautiful sound that echoes off the canyon walls. It is a signal to the mountains that you are passing through, a guest in their silent kingdom. The smell of the air seems to sharpen, becoming clearer and colder, even through the vents. It smells of ozone, of crushed ice, and of the absolute purity of high-altitude silence. You lie back against the plush pillows, your head sinking into the down feathers. Through the window, you watch the silhouettes of pine trees passing by, their branches heavy with fresh snow. Occasionally, a branch will release its load, and a cloud of white powder will swirl in the wake of the train like a ghost. The world is moving past you in a slow, hypnotic blur. You are no longer navigating your life. The train is doing the navigating for you. You are simply a witness to the beauty of the blue mountains. The gravity of the climb is pulling you deeper into the mattress, making your limbs feel heavy and warm. You are becoming a part of the blue hour, a part of the snow, and a part of the silent, upward climb toward the stars. The clack-clack of the rails is now a whisper, a secret shared between the steel and the stone, telling you that it is time to close your eyes and trust the journey. Chapter 4. The Dining Car's Ghostly Echo. The night is now at its deepest point, and a sudden, restless curiosity draws you from the safety of your cabin for a brief, silent exploration. You slide the mahogany door open, the sound a soft, lubricated whir against the felt-lined tracks. The corridor of the Midnight Express is a long, amber-lit tunnel of luxury, swaying gently with the rhythmic motion of the rails. You walk toward the rear of the train, your bare feet sinking into the emerald green carpet, which feels like walking on a cloud of dense, cool wool. Every step is silent, a ghost-like movement through a world that is fast asleep. You reach the heavy, brass-handled door of the dining car and push it open, entering a space that feels like a frozen moment in time. The dining car is empty of people, yet it is full of a haunting, beautiful presence. The tables are draped in heavy, white damask linen that glows like moonlight in the dim, recessed lighting. Each table is set with heavy silver cutlery, crystal glasses that capture the flickering shadows, and a single unlit candle in a polished pewter holder. The air here is different from your cabin. It is cooler and carries the lingering, sophisticated ghosts of the evening. The scent of aged brandy, dark chocolate, and the faint citrusy aroma of Earl Grey tea. It is a scent that speaks of quiet conversations, of secrets shared over velvet seats, and of the profound dignity of a long-distance journey. You sit for a moment at a corner table, looking out the large windows that line both sides of the carriage. The mountains outside are now sheer walls of black and silver, passing by in a slow, majestic procession. The sound in the dining car is a masterpiece of acoustic engineering. Because the room is large and open, the clack-clack of the rails echoes slightly, creating a layered, rhythmic soundscape that feels more spacious than your small cabin. You hear the faint, melodic clink of a silver spoon against a saucer in the galley far ahead, a sound that is as clear as a bell in the absolute silence of the night. You hear the wind whistling around the edges of the heavy glass panes, a thin, high-pitched wee that emphasizes the incredible thickness of the walls protecting you. You feel the immense power of the engine pulling the weight of the train, a deep sub-bass vibration that you can feel in your chest. It is the sound of absolute reliability. You are being carried by a force far greater than yourself, a force that knows exactly where it is going. You reach out and touch the cold, polished silver of a fork on the table. The metal is freezing, a sharp contrast to the warm, humid air of the carriage. You trace the intricate engravings on the handle, feeling the patterns with your thumb. This attention to detail, this commitment to beauty in the middle of a wilderness, is what makes the Midnight Express a sanctuary. You look at your reflection in the darkened window, a faint, translucent shadow against the backdrop of the snowy peaks. You realize that you have left your worries back at the station, thousands of feet below. Up here, in the thin, cold air of the high Alps, there is no room for the clutter of the mind. There is only the silver, the linen, and the endless rhythmic journey. You stand up slowly, your body feeling heavier and more relaxed than ever before, and begin the long, silent walk back to your cabin. Guided by the golden lamps and the steady heartbeat of the train. Chapter 5. The Tunnel of Velvet Darkness. You are back in your cabin, tucked once more under the heavy wool blankets, when the world outside the window suddenly disappears. The moonlight, the snow, and the silhouettes of the pines are instantly replaced by a wall of absolute, velvet blackness. The Midnight Express has entered the Great St. Bernard Tunnel, a miles-long passage carved directly through the granite heart of the mountain. In this space, the visual world is extinguished, and your sense of hearing and touch become your only connection to reality. The darkness is thick, heavy, and surprisingly comforting. It is a physical weight that settles over your eyes, inviting you to stop looking and start feeling. You are inside the mountain, wrapped in stone and steel, moving through the very core of the earth. The acoustics of the journey change instantly within the tunnel. The clack-clack of the rails becomes louder, sharper, and more echoing, reflecting off the close stone walls and bouncing back against the glass of your window. The sound is a rhythmic thrum-thrum, thrum-thrum, a powerful and hypnotic beat that seems to synchronize with your own pulse. You can hear the steam of the engine rushing past the carriage, a constant, powerful whoosh that sounds like a giant waterfall or a long, sustained exhale. The air in the cabin seems to become even more still, as if the mountain itself is holding its breath while you pass through. You lie perfectly still, your eyes wide open in the dark, watching the faint, rhythmic flashes of the tunnel's safety lights as they pass by. Tiny amber sparks that disappear as quickly as they appear. The smell of the tunnel is ancient and cool, the scent of wet stone, of deep earth minerals, and a faint, metallic tang of iron and coal. It is a refreshing, clean smell that clears your mind of its last remaining fragments of thought. You feel the slight incline of the tracks as the train continues its upward climb, a subtle shift in the balance of your body that makes you feel even more securely tucked into your bed. You reach out and feel the mahogany wall beside you. It is vibrating with the intensity of the tunnel's acoustics, a low-frequency hum that acts as a massage for your weary spirit. You are being transported through a void, a space where time and direction have no meaning. You are simply a point of awareness, moving through the dark. In this velvet darkness, the concepts of yesterday and tomorrow feel like distant, irrelevant dreams. There is only the now, and the now is a rhythmic, vibrating passage through the heart of the world, You feel an immense sense of security, as if the mountain is a giant stone shell protecting you from the rest of the universe. The thrum of the rails is a heartbeat, and you are the life within it. Your breathing becomes effortless, your lungs filling with the cool, mineral-rich air of the tunnel. As the minutes pass, the darkness begins to feel like a soft, warm liquid, filling the cabin and filling your mind. You are no longer waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel. You are content to stay here, in the heart of the stone, forever. You are sinking deeper into the feathers of your pillow, your body becoming as heavy as the granite above you, as the Midnight Express carries you further into the void. Chapter 6. The Frozen Waterfall. The velvet darkness of the tunnel finally gives way, and the Midnight Express burst forth into a world that is almost blindingly silver. The moon is now at its zenith, hanging like a giant glowing pearl in a sky so clear and dark, it looks like polished onyx. You press your face against the glass, and for a moment, you forget to breathe. To your right, the train is hugging the edge of a sheer cliff, and directly across the chasm, you see it. The frozen waterfall of the Black Gorge. It is a massive, crystalline monument of ice, hundreds of feet high, frozen mid-descent, as if time itself had decided to stop and admire the view. The ice is not white, but a deep translucent turquoise that seems to glow from within, capturing and refracting the moonlight into 1,000 tiny rainbows. The sight is so magnificent, so perfectly still, that it feels like a dream. You watch the jagged icicles, some as long as the train itself, hanging like the teeth of an ancient winter dragon. The water that should be rushing and roaring is now silent, a silent cascade of diamonds. This image of frozen energy is exactly what your mind needs right now. A visual command to stop moving, to stop rushing, and to simply be in a state of crystalline stillness. You feel a wave of profound coolness wash over your spirit, a mental frost that clears away the last traces of heat and agitation from your day. The waterfall is a symbol of absolute peace, a power that has been stilled by the grace of the night. You are as still as the ice, as quiet as the gorge, and as deep as the shadows between the rocks. The sound in the cabin has changed as the train moves onto a high, open-work iron trestle bridge over the gorge. The clack-clack of the rails becomes hollow and resonant, a musical ting-ting, ting-ting, that vibrates through the iron beams and into the carriage. It is a lighter, more ethereal sound, as if the train is no longer touching the earth but is flying through the cold mountain air. You look down, and far below, you see the silver thread of a frozen river winding its way through the valley. The distance makes everything seem small and insignificant. Your worries, your life, the world you left behind. They are all down there, miles below, while you're up here, suspended in the air, moving through a landscape of ice and light. You pull the heavy wool blanket closer, feeling its reassuring weight on your chest. The warmth of the cabin is a cocoon, a barrier against the immense, beautiful cold outside. The scent of the air seems to have changed again, now carrying a faint, crisp note of pine resin and frozen stone. It is a clean, invigorating scent that makes every breath feel like a new beginning. You watch the frozen waterfall until it disappears behind a bend in the tracks, leaving only its afterimage of blue ice in your mind. You feel a sense of completion, as if you have witnessed a secret miracle of nature. Your body is now so heavy that even the act of keeping your eyes open feels like a monumental task. You are drifting, your consciousness rising and falling like the mist over the frozen river, moving closer and closer to the final station of the night. Chapter 7. The Sleeping Village. The train begins a long, sweeping descent into a high-altitude valley, and soon the first signs of human life appear in the moonlight. This is the sleeping village of Valdemons, a cluster of small wooden chalets with steep, snow-covered roofs that look like gingerbread houses dusted with powdered sugar. Not a single light is visible in the windows. The entire village is deep in the middle of its own winter slumber. You watch as the train glides past the outskirts, its movement so smooth and silent that it feels as though you are a ghost passing through a dream. The smoke from the chimneys rises in thin, straight lines of gray toward the stars, indicating that inside those homes, fires are glowing low in the hearths, keeping the families warm while they dream. There is something profoundly comforting about seeing an entire village at rest. It is a communal act of surrender, a reminder that the world is designed to sleep. You imagine the people inside those chalets, tucked under heavy down duvets, breathing in the scent of cedar and wood smoke, blissfully unaware of the midnight express passing by their doors. You feel a sense of kinship with them. Even though you are moving and they are still, you are all part of the same nocturnal rhythm. The train passes a small stone church with a tall, thin spire, its bell silent and covered in a cap of silver snow. The village is a portrait of absolute security, a place where the night is a friend and the cold is just a reason to hold each other closer. The rhythm of the rails in this valley is a soft, muffled shh as the snow on the sides of the tracks acts as a natural acoustic absorber. The sound is gentle, like the turning of a page in a very old book. You feel the train slowing down just a fraction. A subtle change in the vibration that makes your muscles relax even further. You reach out and touch the mahogany paneling of your cabin, feeling the warmth of the wood. This cabin is your own private chalet, your own moving sanctuary in the middle of the mountains. You are as safe and as warm as anyone in that village below. The scent of wood smoke from the valley below begins to seep through the vents, a nostalgic and grounding aroma that speaks of home, safety, and the end of the journey. You watch the last house of the village disappear into the darkness, its small wooden fence nearly buried in the snow. The valley opens up again, and the train begins its final climb toward the highest pass. The stars above seem closer now, larger and brighter than you've ever seen them. They are like diamonds scattered on a bed of blue velvet, silent watchers of your journey. You feel a sense of immense peace, a feeling that everything in the universe is exactly where it needs to be. The sleeping village has given you its blessing, a quiet confirmation that it is okay to let go, okay to stop watching, and okay to join the rest of the world in the deep, dark embrace of sleep. Your breath is a slow, steady rhythm, matching the shh of the rails as the Midnight Express carries you upward into the heart of the stars. Chapter 8. The Library of Night Skies. The Midnight Express reaches the highest point of its journey, a plateau of ice and silence that seems to exist between the earth and the heavens. Here, the train slows almost to a crawl, and a hidden mechanism in your cabin ceiling activates. With a soft, mechanical click, followed by the smooth shh of velvet against wood, a section of the mahogany roof slides back to reveal a reinforced glass skylight. You are now lying in your bed, looking directly up into the Library of Night Skies. Above you, the atmosphere is so thin and pure that the stars don't just twinkle. They blaze with a steady, ancient fire. The Milky Way stretches across the dome like a river of silver dust, a cosmic path that leads directly into the heart of the infinite. You feel a profound sense of expansion, as if the boundaries of your cabin have dissolved, and you are floating in the center of the galaxy. The moonlight filters through the glass, painting your wool blankets in shades of mercury and pearl. You watch the constellations, the Great Bear, Orion, the Pleiades, as they rotate slowly, a celestial clock that has been ticking for billions of years. This sight is the ultimate perspective. Your day, your worries, and even your name seem to drift away, becoming as small and insignificant as a single grain of sand on a vast dark beach. You are not a person looking at the stars. You are a part of the stars looking back at the world. The silence in the cabin is now absolute, a holy silence that is only punctuated by the distant, rhythmic thump-thump of the train's compressor, a sound like a giant's heartbeat. The air in the cabin has become even more crisp, cooled by the proximity to the night sky. You pull the heavy down duvet up to your chin, feeling its immense, comforting weight pressing you into the mattress. The scent here is ethereal. The smell of cold glass, of ozone, and a faint metallic note that reminds you of starlight itself. It is a scent that clears the last cobwebs of thought from your mind, leaving behind a vast, empty space of peace. You watch a shooting star streak across the glass, a brief and beautiful flash of light that disappears into the darkness. It is a signal that it is okay to let go of your own light for a while, to stop shining and simply be in the dark. You reach out and touch the glass of the skylight. It is freezing to the touch, a sharp and grounding reminder of the immense cold of space. But inside your bed, you are a pocket of perfect warmth. This contrast, the infinite cold vacuum of the stars and the small warm sanctuary of your cabin, is the ultimate luxury. You feel a sense of total protection, as if the entire universe is guarding your rest. The motion of the train is now a gentle, side-to-side sway, a rhythmic rocking that mimics the movement of a cradle. You are being lulled by the cosmos, tucked in by the galaxy, and watched over by the stars. Your eyes are now closing, the silver light of the Milky Way becoming a soft, hazy glow behind your eyelids. You are ready to drift into the deepest part of the night, where the stars and the dreams are one and the same. Chapter 9. The Final Halt. After hours of climbing and descending through the frozen peaks, the Midnight Express begins its final graceful deceleration. The clack-clack of the rails becomes slower and slower. A long, drawn-out clack, clack. The vibration in the floor diminishes, leaving only a faint rhythmic purr that tells you the engine is resting. The train is entering the Valley of Eternal Mist, a place where the air is so still and the snow so deep that all sound is swallowed by the earth. You look out the window and see the station appearing out of the fog, a small stone building with a warm, amber light in the window, and a thin trail of smoke rising from its chimney. This is the final halt, the place where the journey ends and the true rest begins. The sensation of the train stopping is a slow, majestic process. It doesn't jar or jolt. It simply eases into stillness, like a giant ship coming to rest in a calm harbor. As the wheels finally cease their rotation, a profound silence descends upon the cabin. It is a silence so thick you can almost feel it on your skin. The hiss of the steam brakes is a long, final shh, a command from the train itself to let go of your last remaining thread of consciousness. You lie perfectly still, feeling the absence of motion. Your body, which has been vibrating with the rhythm of the rails for hours, now feels incredibly heavy and solid. You are anchored to the earth once more, safe in the heart of the mountains. The scent of the valley seep through the vents, the smell of wet pine needles, of damp stone, and the deep, rich aroma of wood smoke. It is the scent of a destination reached, of a sanctuary found. You watch as the conductor's lantern passes by your window, a small bobbing circle of light in the mist. He is making his final rounds, ensuring that every passenger is safe and at peace. You hear the soft crunch of his boots on the snow, a rhythmic and grounding sound that slowly fades into the distance. The Midnight Express has done its job. It has carried you across the world, through the storms and the tunnels, and delivered you to the doorstep of sleep. You reach out and turn off the small reading lamp on the mahogany table. The cabin is plunged into a soft blue darkness, lit only by the reflection of the snow and the dying embers of the stars through the skylight. In this darkness, you feel a sense of total completion. There is nowhere else to go. There is nothing else to do. The journey is over. You are in the safest place in the universe, tucked away in a carriage of wood and steel, surrounded by the silence of the Alps. The thump-thump of the compressor has stopped, leaving only the sound of your own slow, steady breathing. You are sinking sinking into the depths of the mattress, sinking into the silence of the valley, sinking into a sleep that has no bottom and no end. Chapter 10. The Pillow of Clouds. Now, in the absolute stillness of the final halt, you close your eyes for the last time. Your mind is a vast, empty hall of blue light, and your body is a mountain of soft, warm wool. Imagine that your pillow is not made of feathers, but of a single, thick cloud that has drifted down from the peaks to cradle your head. It is weightless, yet it supports you perfectly. As you sink into it, you feel the last remnants of your physical self dissolving. You are no longer a passenger. You are the mist in the valley, the snow on the roof, and the silence in the air. The darkness behind your eyelids is a warm, inviting ocean. You are floating on its surface, moving slowly away from the shore of the world. Every breath you take is a wave that carries you further into the deep. The memory of the train's rhythm, the clack-clack, the whoosh of the tunnel, the ting-ting of the trestle, is now a faint musical echo in the back of your mind, a lullaby that will play on a loop while you dream. You are protected by the iron and the wood, by the stone and the glass. You are held by the gravity of the earth and the light of the stars. There's a final, distant chime of a silver bell from the station platform, a thin, clear sound that signals the beginning of the great rest. It is the only sound in the world, and then it too disappears. You are left in the perfect, healing void. Your heart rate is slow and steady, your muscles are completely liquid, and your mind is a mirror of the midnight sky, vast, dark, and full of peace. The journey of the Midnight Express is finished, but your journey into the dream world is just beginning. You are falling, falling, falling into the velvet embrace of the night. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The world is gone. The story is over. The silence is yours. Final reflection, the echo of the rails. Now, as the Midnight Express stands perfectly still in the heart of the snowy valley, and the last hiss of its steam fades into the frozen air, take one final conscious breath of this sacred silence. You are no longer a passenger on a train. You have become a part of the landscape itself. The boundaries of your physical form have softened, dissolving into the velvet shadows of the mahogany cabin and the cool blue mist that clings to the glass. In this moment of total transition, you are as light as a snowflake and as ancient as the granite peaks that surround you. The journey of the day, the noise, the movement, the constant stream of thoughts, is now a distant, flickering memory. A book that has been closed and placed on a high shelf in a room you no longer need to visit. Feel the profound weight of your body as it sinks deeper into the mattress of the Midnight Express. Your feet, which have carried you through the world, are now completely relaxed, heavy and warm, like stones resting in the sun. This relaxation travels upward, through your legs, your hips, and into the very center of your being. Your hands, which have done so much today, are now open and still, their palms resting upward as if to catch the last of the starlight. Every muscle in your back, your shoulders, and your neck has surrendered its grip on the world. You are a mountain of stillness, a monument to rest. Your breathing is no longer something you do. It is something that happens to you. A slow, rhythmic tide that pulls you further and further away from the shore of wakefulness. Imagine the rhythm of the rails, that constant, comforting clack-clack, playing now as a faint, internal melody in your mind. It is the heartbeat of your journey, a repetitive and hypnotic song that will continue to guard your dreams long after the train has stopped moving. This rhythm is a promise that you are being carried, even in your sleep. You are being moved through the darkness toward a morning that is far, far away. The stars above the skylight are your silent guardians, their silver light a protective shield that keeps the worries of the world at bay. You are safe. You are tucked away in a sanctuary of wood, steel, and velvet, hidden in a valley that the world has forgotten. The cold of the Alps is a beautiful contrast to the warmth of your bed, a reminder that you are cherished and protected. As you drift now in the boundless territory of sleep, carry with you the secret of the high passes. Remember that there is a place within you that is always still, a place that the storm cannot reach and the noise cannot penetrate. You are the conductor of your own peace, and tonight you have chosen the path of silence. The mountains will stand guard over your rest, their white peaks reflecting the moonlight like giant mirrors of tranquility. The pine trees will whisper your name in the wind, a soft and unintelligible lullaby that speaks of ancient forests and deep winter dreams. You are part of the great nocturnal harmony, a single note in the symphony of the night. The darkness behind your eyelids is not empty. It is a rich, fertile space where your spirit goes to be renewed. It is a garden of shadows where the seeds of tomorrow's peace are planted. You are falling now, through layers of indigo and charcoal, moving toward the very center of your own serenity. There is no more train. There is no more track. There is only the vast, dark ocean of the night, and you are a small, glowing light floating on its surface, safe and serene. Every breath carries you deeper into the void. Every heartbeat is a signal to let go just a little bit more. You are sinking, drifting, disappearing into the blue mist of the valley. Listen to the very last echo of the silver bell from the station platform. It is a sound that marks the end of all effort. It is the final shh of the universe. The story is over. The journey is complete. The Midnight Express has delivered you to the edge of the world, and now it is time to step off into the clouds. There is nothing left to hear. There is nothing left to see. There is only the deep, dark, and beautiful sleep. Your eyes are closed, your heart is calm, and the night is yours. Sleep, sleep, sleep. You are home. You are safe. The rest is silence. Sleep, sleep, sleep.